Hi everybody, thanks for joining me for our Wandering Women Art Journal series. Last time, was that just Monday? Was it Monday when we did this?
Friday, we haven't been on since last week.
Haven't we? No, we were on bank holiday.
Oh yeah, it must have been on Monday. Time flies.
Time flies when you're having fun.
It's an old person thing.
Yeah, it is. So on Monday then, definitely, Bank Holiday Monday, we did this Indian lady, and we used fabrics, scrap bits of fabric that look quite sumptuous, I think, and we literally glued them on with a glue gun, and I think they've worked. I think they look really nice. We had this little Taj Mahal stencil that Mr. Fix had done for me, and it wasn't standing out as much as I wanted it to against the purple, so I just took a very, very fine liner and just went round the edges, inside all the white edges, just to bring it out. I also added this quarter mandala stencil in gold here. I actually sprayed it on with the idea of having it quite defined there and just blurring out as it came out, which I've achieved largely. I also wanted to put my text in, and the text that I chose was, "O soul, thou art at rest." And it refers to the fact that the Taj Mahal was actually built as a mausoleum. And every surface on in the Taj Mahal is covered with lines, work from the Quran, and I didn't want that. I don't want anything, I don't mind spiritual, but I certainly don't want anything religious in my art journal, because that wouldn't reflect who I am. So I chose this, which is actually just as you go in. It's the first thing that you see when you go in, and it's not from the Quran. It's in reference to his wife who had died, and it says, as I say, "O soul, thou art at rest." But when I put it on with Posca, white Posca pen, and of course I hadn't worked out where it was going to go. And so this word, rest, went straight through one of the larger white splotches that we'd put on, so you couldn't see it. So I literally just went round each letter with a black fine liner again, and it makes it really visible. I'm not sure, it's not showing up too well on camera, but it's really quite nice in reality. So that's our Indian lady. That's complete. I've signed and dated it because I think it's important to do that, because it is a piece of art that you've completed and hopefully you're proud of. So it's nice to sign them, and it's also nice to put the date down, because then you can look through and think, oh, well, in August last year that was what I was doing. So today we're moving on around the world, and today we are going to France. Right, so what have I done? You remember that this is an altered book. It's what's called an altered book. It's an old book with Renoir paintings in it, and drawings and whatever, some of which I really like and I'm going to preserve because I just like them so much I can't bear to paint over them. Others I don't have that feeling about, so I'm quite happy to paint over them. And at the back of the book, it's largely sketchings and etchings, which don't particularly float my boat, and I haven't actually stuck those together yet. But what I did was I just took 2 pages of the book. I Pritt stick around the outside and just put a spray adhesive from the pound shop in the middle, evened it out, put a bit of sandwich paper in there, greaseproof paper or whatever, moved on to the next one, did the same again. And then I put it under something really heavy because it was all bulging up and cockling up.
Did you say Alison's with us?
Hello, Alison.
And Sharon.
Hi, Sharon.
There's others, but they're in the background in a minute.
Others in the background. Pop on and say hello.
And Alison said, hello, hello, I thought I got the day wrong. We were a few minutes late.
Yeah, we were a few minutes late. Sorry about that. I'm not usually late. Things normally go tickety-boo, but not tickety-bomb today. Anyway, so far with this page, I have obviously given it a background of a nice bright turquoisey blue, which is acrylic paint, just acrylic over everything. One coat, whatever it turned out like, that was it. So you can see there's still some bits of the picture showing through. I'm not worried, really not worried about that. And then I thought, well, I'd quite like a sort of French cafe, street scene sort of vibe going on. So I looked through some of the royalty-free pages. There's Pixabay, Unsplash, Pexels, PMP Art, Paint My Picture. And they're all, if they're on there, they're all right for you to use for whatever purpose. So I prefer to get my artwork from there. So this, I just, because apart from the backgrounds, I've sort of made a deal with myself that I'm not going to use acrylics to paint with, because when I do, I really tighten up and I don't get anything that's nice and loose and fluid, which is what I want for my art journal. So I'm using watercolours, which are a really, really new thing for me. I may have used them at some stage in my life before, but I can't remember having any success with them or whatever. Hi, Carol. Nice to see you. So this was my reference picture. This hasn't turned out that much like it, really, but I'm not surprised. As I say, I'm not that overly skilled in watercolours, but I'm quite eager to keep trying and see. I just like it better. And then I wrote on, it's nonsense. Actually, that does say Les Fleurs. But this and that, it's nonsense text, but it just gives the idea that it's, it's shops, and then it's a flower shop and they're all stood in buckets and whatever. Maybe when it's dry I'll go over it again. I don't know. I think it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I quite like it. And then I thought that, you see, if you don't feel inclined to spend the time, or you haven't got watercolours or whatever, don't feel that you're missing out on anything. Cut this out and stick it on. There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with doing that. It's your journal. If you want to paint it and challenge yourself a little bit, paint it. If you haven't got the things to paint it with, or you really just want to get your art journal page done, which would be a shame because there's joy to doing it, just cut it off wherever you want to. Stick it on with some Mod Podge or whatever, and it's there. No shame at all. No shame. And if you do want to paint it and you can't think that you can draw it freehand, then there is stuff called Seurat transfer paper, which is this. It comes in 5 different colours. This one's the white, obviously. And you put that over your page, you put that over there, and you draw around it, and hey presto, you've got the outline of what you need to colour in. I mean, you can use colouring pencils, crayons, kiddies' crayons, doesn't matter. Really, really doesn't matter at all. Or as I say, if you can't be doing all of that, cut it out and stick it on. So that's the end of that problem. Right, the next thing was the Eiffel Tower. I love this. It's so vibrant, so full of life. And I did transfer it on because I haven't got a hope of copying that. I know I'd get lost in it. So I did transfer that on. And then I actually went over my lines with a gold pen. And I don't think that's showing up. Yeah, maybe there you can see it. Just all the crisscross engineering and whatever I did with a gold pen. And at that stage, I was still thinking that I was going to put all these leaves of the tree there. So I didn't sort of put that in because I thought you wouldn't be able to see it. But I've been messing around since then, as I do. So this is where we're at the moment. I just put dots on the background, just so it's not a plain background, really. Now then, what else have I got to put on? Well, it's France, so let's have a think what they're good at and do. Well, they're good at wine, they're good at cheese, they're good at design, fashion design, perfume manufacturers. Guillotining, yes, they're good at that. They were. They might have lost their edge a little. But they're also famous for the Montgolfier brothers. Are they brothers? They were brothers, weren't they?
Yes.
And they were the first people ever to get in the hot air balloon, well, the basket below it, obviously, and take flight with a hot air balloon. So I thought, great, that's excellent. I'll do that, and I'll put that there. So you can see I've done my background and left that space for the hot air balloon. But then I had my lady. Well, she's more of a girl, I think, than a lady. And she's been various sizes since her incarnation. She was little, then she was giant, then she was somewhere in between. I mean, that's the original sketch that I did of her. And I thought that would be the right sort of size for this page. I don't think so. She didn't look right anyway. So I chopped her in half there, and I blew her up a little bit. And that wasn't right. So, because I was going to put her there, you see. But that's right on the fold. And if you put too much thickness on the fold, you just can't get your book shut properly. I mean, the time will come with this book that it won't shut properly anyway. And I'll show you what we do then when it comes to that stage. But, you know, if I'm going to put fabric, for example, on a little tunic top here, it's the wrong place for it to be. So she has moved over to here, like that. A little bit more in, my lady. There we go. She's going there. The Montgolfiers have downsized to this one here, and that's going there, which means then I can still get my lamppost in, which I really want to match the lamppost that's in this one. So the big balloon is now without a use, but keep it because you never know. And on this stencil, which I got from AliExpress some time ago, much to Mr. Fix-a-Lot's chagrin, see, his business is stencils, but it was something like 60p. You know, you ought to have a look on AliExpress. It's dangerous, like. And it's on there, it's got this stamp, what looks like a stamp in a passport, and it says arrival something Paris something. You know, they're obviously blurred. And then it's got this little aeroplane and a date on, and says arrival.
Should be back now. You can apologise.
Are we back? Sorry. Yeah, the dog ran over the whole load of wires and pulled the microphone one out, so sorry about that. But I thought these two stencils that look like stamps would be quite nice together in this top bit here. And then I've got my text, which is a little French saying that's going to go there. Okay, so far so good. So you see what I'm saying? I could have painted this, but I like it like that. And there's no shame in putting a bit of paper decoupage, you know, just do it. Do whatever makes you happy. It's your art journal. So, I think the thing to do is to stick this fella down. And it's paper, so I'm actually going to Pritt stick it down. I seem to have the best results from Pritt when I'm using just paper or thin card. So you see quite a lot of thoughts actually gone into how this page is going to look. It's not just as might appear, a bit on the random side. So these guys are going to go there. I'm just going to fold that over so I can get a crease in there. Okay. I've been a bit tight with the Pritt stick. Is Susan on? Susan, how's your wrist? I'm hoping it's getting better.
Shaz has joined us.
Hi Shaz! Thanks for joining us.
And Alison Young said earlier, as if you'd mess around, Fiona. Loads of laughy faces.
As if. I like that. That's made me laugh. Right, so she is going about there, I reckon. But I want to cut a beret out of felt. And I've got this blue felt. I really would have liked to have had some navy blue felt, but I haven't got any. So, you know, if you haven't got it, you haven't got it. Make do with what you've got, I say. So that needs to come out there. And I'm also going to do her little tunic jumper thing out of this as well. And I need the shape off this to cut it. This is felt that it's called Kunin felt, and it's you can't go near it with heat. That was why it was bought originally, because it destroys when you put heat on it. Soldering iron, thanks. So you can make all sorts of marks and whatever with heat, but you know, actually today I'd like to stick it on with the hot glue gun, but I don't know if that's going to be too much for it. We'll wait and see. So I think the first thing I need to do is do a face. Where are you going to go, my love? Where are you happy? Happy there? You happy there? Yeah, okay. So I think before I start, I'm going to actually cut out the felt. The felt for the beret and the felt for a little vest top. That's the thing to do. So I'm going to put her on there, a bit further over. I haven't got any pins or anything fancy, so it's going to be... Yeah, that might help. You know, on days when you start late, it's always because some trauma has happened, because if it hasn't, I'll be on time. So the fact that we were late can signify to you that something was going wrong. Then the dog ran over the cables, took my microphone out, and then I drew Quasimodo. So, you know, let's see if I can make this mark with those white watercolour pens that I was just using. Is that marking it? No, not so much. Okay, it's definitely one of those days. Just wondering if I could have marked it with this, but I don't think. Oh, it kind of is. Yeah, kind of is. Ah, right. No, I might be all right here, actually. These very expensive water-soluble crayons were never designed to do this, I can tell you. Let's have a look then. Yeah, that's all right. I can see that. I can see that. Let's do it then. We used to do lives on a Saturday night, and they were mostly related to sort of furniture painting or painting small home decor items. And invariably, something would go wrong. And, you know, I remember particularly one night we were trying to demonstrate decals, you know, like decals that you paint, you put through the printer and you put something on, and then you unpeel the back and you stick the decal down onto whatever you want, which in our case was a bedside cabinet, I think. And it stuck to me, really, as the long and the short of it. And Mr. Fix-It came to help. He couldn't help because it was absolutely stuck to me. So that was, you know, that was one incident. There were many. In fact, we had a run of Saturday nights, didn't we, when nothing at all went right. But, you know.
Shaz says her husband keeps calling her and she's just agreeing with whatever he wants so she can get him off the phone.
Hope it's not too expensive for you. Right, so that's... Oh, I might have slightly sliced her arm off there and there, but that doesn't matter. So this is a shoulder coming around here. It's a sort of little boat neck that she's got going on. I'll just cut that out. You don't have to use fabric, you can just paint it. I just thought it might be quite nice to use fabric, but you know, it might not be. Okay, so I just need a little bit off there. Yeah, that's all right. That's okay. It's near enough, isn't it? Right, so I want to put on some white stripes, and I couldn't find one piece of white fabric in the house, barring the sheets, and I'm not willing to concede my sheets. So I found this ribbon that was holding a sketchbook together. So I've nicked it off it. So I just want to see if I can hot glue gun that in place. I'm just wondering where to start because she's got a little red belt on here. So I need to start up a little bit, really. Right there. Try it on a scrap bit. Yeah, you're good. I'll just try that bit of ribbon on there. Right, let's see if it's going to play ball. I'm going to put the glue on the ribbon. Put it on there and let's hope that it doesn't melt the felt. Melt the felt. No, looks like it's alright actually. It has got to be quite, even a soldering iron, it's got to be right on it. So yeah, I think we're alright. The problem we have is we're going to see the glue through the ribbon. So I don't know, I've got this glue that says bonds paper, card, wood, metal, plastic, ceramics, china, leather, glass and cork. You'll notice it doesn't say felt or fabric. I'll give it a go. I mean, what's the worst thing that can happen? What is the worst thing that can happen? Who knows, eh? This is really runny out the pot, so I'm just gonna do it in here. Wow, that's a lot of glue. I wasn't even squeezing it either. Okay. So far so good. I'm just going to cut that level there. And I'm going to put some more glue on this bit. This is just gravity that's causing this glue to come out like this. It's absolutely no pressure.
is slightly freaked out because she's agreeing with.
Because she's agreeing.
And Dorothy says hello.
Hi, Dorothy.
She had the estate agent round, so she was a bit late.
Oh well, that's understandable. Life just has to happen sometimes. It shouldn't when I'm live, but it does. So I'm just putting a little stripe on her sleeve here. I don't even know if all this is worth it really, but I feel like it is. It hasn't got any glue at the end. Now it's cockeyed. This is stressful. This is ridiculously stressful, and it shouldn't be. Where's my other bit of white ribbon gone? Ah, here it is. Right, so I'm going to put a stripe along there. Well, it's kind of coming off the end of the thing, I think. The end of the sleeve, because I cut the sleeve a bit short. If you decide to do this at home, just take your time. It's better if you take your time. And then you can enjoy it. Right. Well, I think that's possibly all the stripes I'm going to put on. I could put another one there. Yeah, I might do that actually. Might just do that. So I want it about there-ish. And I want to cut this off. Thank you. Yeah, you know, that's looking not too bad after all. Okay, I can live with that. Let's just cut all the ends off. See what we've got. Well, look at that. Got a nice little jumper going on there. Nice little French looking jumper going on. Right, so the next thing we need are her braces. Not the ones we had before, the Eiffel Tower. No, that was just bad dental work all round. Which are red, in my head they're red. So I have some really red fabric here. Can you see that? I mean, if you're going to have braces, get yourself some good ones. Oh, hang on, before I put them on, I probably need to colour her in. Yeah, I think I do. Yeah. Okay. So you have to wait for the excitement of the ultra red. I don't know that I'm that familiar with these pencils that I want to draw. I want to paint her in again. I want my Inktense pencils, but I don't know where they are. Excuse me a minute, please. See if I can find them. Oh, there we go. Found them. In the evening, I like to sit and colour and paint, and with Inktense crayons, for want of a better word, and one of these water pens, you can do it with no mess. So I fill my evenings in doing that sort of thing. Let's find some colours that are kind of appropriate for her this time. Oh dear, I can still see the wrong one. It's sat there looking at me. So we need some fleshy type colours. I'll go with those. Oops. If you can just afford sort of, I think the smallest size the Inktense comes in is 12s. And if you can afford the 12, it'll open up a huge new world for you. They really are fantastic things. And you're very much in control. So I'll just do her arms. I'll put a bit of, it's not what I wanted, this one. Shade in. Yeah, it looks a bit green, but I'm sure it'll be fine. And something perhaps a little bit lighter. Is that the same as that? Yeah. Sicilian lemon. Fair dues. I want a pink, really. Try that. You can see you are definitely in charge of where you put the colour, and you know, if you put one colour, two colour, whatever. And I can tell you with every degree of certainty that once Inktense dries, it will not reactivate. You can go over it again with the same colour or another colour or whatever. They're really good. They would definitely be in my, you know, pick 3 crafting things. What would it be? They would definitely be in that. Definitely. I don't know what else I would include. What would you include in yours, do you think? You guys? Because with these, you don't even really need a set of watercolours. Well, I'd have to include a water pen as well, obviously. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to activate them. So I just want a little bit of this just to make a shadow under a sleeve. So let's see what we can make of this then. Isn't it magical when you put the water on? It honestly is. It's like magic. Do you remember those books? I bet most of you aren't old enough. That you used to get when I was a kid, certainly. And all you did was put water on it, and it just magically came to life. My mum wouldn't let me do too many of them in one go, because you could do loads. You could get through the whole book really dead quickly. Yeah, that's fine. But they were like magic, and you know, you had no idea what they were going to be. You really couldn't see what they were going to be. Well, that's until you got to about 11 or 12, and you know, then you could sort of squint your eyes, see what was there already, and you could make out what it was going to be. This is a bit red, my love, isn't it? I'll wait for that to dry and go back over it with that yellow skin tone. Right, so you're not going to be awkward for me, are you? No. Let's just put a bit of shading in there. Yeah, that's right. She's got a red scarf. I'm going to have to make that as well. You're going to be here till about 7 o'clock, people, so settle in. Go make yourself a brew. Huh? I'm just going to put that yellow down in there. going over that pink quite a lot because it's too pink, and I don't think I've got a softer pink. Oh, I've got a white. That's interesting. I didn't know that. What colour that is? Very dark. No, I think that's about it. Sorry about the noise, guys. So, just under where a scarf goes, there's going to be a little bit of a shadow, I think. So put that in with the darkest one on both sides. And in the middle there, where the ribbon's going to be sitting above her skin. So we need a shadow. I'm aware that I'm using quite a lot of yellow in this, but I can't see anything else that I can really... I can't find a paler pink, which is a bit odd. There must be one. I've probably had it out at some stage. Ah! Look what Mr. Fix-It's just found. That's brilliant.
Really made one there on a bit of...
Oh, looky, looky, looky. That's perfect. I didn't even know we had that. That's incredible. Well, there's a decision for us to make in a little while. It's all decisions, isn't it? Decisions, decisions. I'll wait for that to dry and put some white over it, I think. It's quite... I can't believe that those are the only sort of skin tones that I've got. I bet you have had some out at some stage and just haven't put them back in. Okay, well that's not looking... I'll leave that to dry, as I say, and I'll put some white into it. Right, so we've marked where the eyes are, where the nose is. We've brought the mouth down a bit. But on the original, of course, the mouth was there. So she now looks like she's got a sort of moustache that's reminiscent of the leader of the Nazi party during the 30s and 40s. Right, I'm going to go in with this yellow because I just can't see a colour that's any more appropriate. Her hair is coming down over a fringe. A fringe is coming down over her face, I meant to say. I'm just going to give her some rosiness there. And here. I'm just going to go in with that darker, the magenta, and put the shadow in under her nose. Like that. I'm going to mark her mouth there. I'll just have to try and get rid of that if we can. So her eyes coming down here, so we need some shading to go into the nose like that, and a similar thing here. Try and leave the sort of top of her nose, if you can, very light, because that if it's left light, it brings it forward. Anything that you leave white or paint white or whatever, it will come forward. Anything that's dark will recede. I'm sure you all know that. Preaching to the converted, aren't I? So I'm just going to leave a little space there that's white also for the same effect. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get rid of that moustache. She's a doomed lady today. Same thing with the chin actually as well. You want to leave a bit of it, not loads of it, but a little bit of it sort of lighter, like that. Right, let's put some shadows in. So she's going to have shading coming down here. She's going to have shading up under a beret. We haven't taken the hair far enough up there, but there will be shading in her hair up there. Let's just bring this down into sort of fringe and see what it looks like. Need that nice and dark there where the beret sits down on it. Might come back in with a darker brown. So I'm just going to put some pigment down here, and then I'm going to bring a lighter colour down so she's a sort of a mousy blondie type child, girl, lady. I think she's going to be alright this time. I've got a bit more confidence about her than I did have when she was hanging off the Eiffel Tower. That wasn't good. It wasn't good for her. It wasn't good for my journal. Okay, so now I'm going to come back in with a brighter yellow, or what's that? That might do it. So I'm just going to not all over, but just so the pigment's definitely in there. And down the fringe. I mean, you really could paint this with anything. You paint it with anything that you've got. Children's poster paints, anything. Child's crayons if you've got little ones around. It's whatever you fancy is fine. So I'm just going to go in with this yellow that we've been using for a skin, and just put some of that in it, lighten it up a little bit. Okay, let's go in with some water then. Let's see what we've got. Oh, I need some more colour on her nose. Actually, I need to make her nose less like a boxer, really. Be good. Let's bring that up to there, where it should go. Okay, so she's looking quite happy with herself. I was going to put a dark. I'll put the dark in after the after I've done this. So this is just one sweep of the water pen, and it obviously activates it. You can see that it's much brighter, but you can keep going over and over and over again until you've got actually all the pigment blended, if that's what you want to do. It's up to you with the Inktense, how you want to play it. There, Eve Little Faith. She's looking not too bad. Might have pulled her back from the brink of jumping. I've ended it all by jumping off the Eiffel Tower. So there we are. She's sort of blondie, sort of redhead, she's doing all right. I just want to find a dark colour. What's that? What's that one? Bark. That's a dark brown, so that'll be fine. So I'm just going to put that in. It's still wet, so it's just going to dry along with all the rest of it. There we are. Okay, so let's have a look at her face. Where are we? Oh, we're past the hour already. Well, I'm just going to motor on, so you know, it's up to you if you want to stay. I'd be delighted for you to stay. But if you want to go, I completely understand that you've got, you know, a life outside our French lady.
Susan says she's cool. And Cheryl says the difference when you add water is incredible.
It's incredible. Incredible. It's they are amazing things. Actually. So I'm going to go into that and just, that's lovely. That's what I wanted. I want it to look nice and rosy posy. So you see, you can spread it around a little bit. It allows you to spread it around a bit when you first wet it. But as I say, once it dries, it's dry. You really can't do anything with it. So get everything done that you need to get done when you first go. We've got this moustache now. I don't know if you can see it, but it's. Can you see it between her nose and her mouth? It's not great. Right. See, this is only photocopier paper because I thought I was going to use it as a template, but she's turned out to be a bit more than that. Right. So where's her sweater? A little jumper. Oh, I'm going to have to go up her arms a bit more. I forgot that I'd chopped them off. So, where does that come to? Right there. Actually, I need to cut the bit off that was the jumper. That's it. So I've got some sort of unexplained shadow thing going on now, but never mind. And the dark one in there for a shadow. That is fine. I mean, it's fine. I'm just picking up some of that pigment that I've got there. Just drawing it down that on. So where does this one go to then? It goes oh, I thought I had a pencil in my hand. I need to chop that little bit off there, and that's where it comes to. So I'm going to have to chop this off, you see, because obviously her arm would not just suddenly go into the shape of a sleeve. It would if a sleeve was there, but by itself it's not just going to form a sleeve on your arm. Oh, I don't reckon so anyway. A little bit of pink, a little bit of the darker one, that one. Okay, so I think we're getting not too bad. We're not too bad. We need to do her eyes and her lips. For her lips, I'm certainly going to move to Posca pens. And for her eyes, I might just stick with Inktense. See if I can find a dark ink black. That'll do us. And I also need something like a green. Is that actually green? It looks brown. But then, yeah. Oh, it's quite nice hazel colour. Might leave that out in a greener green. A more greeny green. Yeah, I'll leave those out. Right, so her eyes. Oh, this paper's getting really wet now, actually. So I'm just going to have to be careful what I do here. Might not be able to do masses. So don't really want her to look cross-eyed or anything. Poor Love's had enough problems today. So you just carry this line up from the nose, and that's where your eyebrows are. From the nose to there. And the two greens that we had, well, we had a hazel and a green, didn't we? I'll just put a bit of that in. It's very nice. A little bit of this green. Okay. I don't think I'm going to go in with the water pen. It's quite... I like it the way it is, and the water pen, this paper is really sodden and really thin, and I don't honestly think it's going to stand up to too much more. So I think I'll just leave it like that. I'll put her lips in. Have I got a red Posca? Of course I have. Never been out of its cellophane. So that's going to get stuck on there. Oh yeah, I was going to put some white, wasn't I, over her. There's not too much definition between her skin and her hair actually, so I'm just going to put some white over her skin. Tone that down a little bit. Certainly struggled today with skin tones. But in the end, I think she's not looking too bad. I'm just going to go over that. I've just put a load of white over that just to calm it down a little bit. And I think it's doing the job. Yeah, there we are. I think that's all right. Thank you. So her lips. Well, I'm going to stick by the mouth that we've now got and kind of ignore that moustache that she's got. I'm just ignoring it. I could go back in again with the Inktense once this paper dries and have another go at painting over it. Okay. Maybe a little bit bigger, do you think? Okay, that's fine, like that. I'm just going to put a black line in the middle, which I'm sure I've got. I had some black pens out, but black line That's fine. Right, I'm happy with that. Let's get the white out, because she needs some highlights on her lips and on her eyes before we move on to the dressing her stage. Should have those. Do you remember when you used to get in comics those like little dolls' dresses, and they had tags on the shoulders so that you could fold them onto the. For those of you that can't remember, I bet you're thinking, "Oh, that sounds really good fun." It was ever so tedious. Okay, so we've got some white. So let's just put some little highlights in her eyes. A little highlight on her mouth. Excellent, that's fine. That's rather more of a highlight than I wanted. Right, so time to put her jumper on, I think. Okay, so what I'm going to stick that with the hot glue gun. Just switched it on. Oh, it was off, I think. Yeah. Or I could stick it on with that glue that I had before. Yeah, might go for that. Because then I'm not in any danger of melting this blooming felt, because it's one of those days today, isn't it, peeps? So, you know, like, if it can go wrong, it will go wrong. So I think it's probably best to stay away from the hot glue gun. Otherwise I'm going to end up with a jumper in shreds. Let's switch that off again, actually. Right, here goes. Oh, yes, my dear, you're looking better. Oh, yes, I'm feeling much better. Gosh, she speaks really good English, doesn't she? Excellent English. Right, so what I'm tempted to do is chop the beret off so I can use it for, yeah, template, that's the word. I'll think about that. In the meantime, I'm going to put her some braces on from this wonderful pack that Mr. Fix-It just came out with from nowhere. Which is the best one? Pure Red? Gingham? Tell me what you think, guys. Gingham? This is velvet. That would look nice. Anybody got any ideas? What about this velvet? What do you think of that? Yeah, I think so. In the event that nobody's got that much to say about it, I'm going to use this. So I think it needs to come from about there right down to there, and then the other one to match. Okay.
Mount it on some double-sided tape.
Yeah, I could do. No, I'll just stick it on with glue. It'll be fine. I'm just doing this on this plate because I don't want my work surface to get really sticky, gunked up. I mean, it is just card and we do replace it quite often, but it's just easier if you don't get glue on it. Right, so it wants to go from there down in towards a waist. It's like playtime, isn't it? It's like It's like being a child, but with proper toys. And nobody telling you, well, I hope there's nobody telling you to stop. It's quite a bit of glue decided to come out on that one. So which is the best? This one. So I want it fairly similar, so from the top there down into a waist, like that. That's all right. Chop that off. Fling it in the bin before it sticks everything up. Right, so she's got a little, she's got a scarf, she's got a little belt on, she's got buttons on her belt. So for a thingy belt, I might use the gingham because that's something different, isn't it? Yeah, I might put 2 things of gingham on there, I think. The nozzle on this glue is just enormous. Right, I'm going to put that piece down at the bottom, not on a hand. Just down on the bottom, like that. Stick that down. Get off my table. And another piece just above it, so it just looks like a bit of a wider belt. There we are, that's now matched up, I think. I'll just pull the other one. I think that's okay. They've certainly got enough glue to stick them to now till Kingdom Come. So are you going to follow me with these wandering women, or are you going to have your own topics? Dorothy, I know, said that she was thinking of things that fly, which is an enormous topic. You know, everything from machines, like airplanes and whatever, to fairies. Right, so now I've got a little bag of buttons somewhere, and also some of these round. I might go with the button, actually. It's kind of more, I think it's more our sort of girl. So I'll just get 2. I could do blue, I suppose. You could have blue buttons or red buttons. What do you think, guys? Red or blue? Red or blue? I don't know if you can see it properly there. You can see that better. Anybody saying anything? Anybody out there at all? No? What do you think then, Mr. Fix-It? I've come round to you.
Scraping the barrel.
Yeah.
I'd go for blue because it stands out better.
I thought you might. Yeah, blue it is. It's got a fair bit of red going on with the braces and a belt. So I'm just going to put a bit of glue on that and hope it will stick. I'm pretty sure it will because it's mighty sticky stuff, this. One of our pound shop buys. There we are then.
Shaz says red.
Oh,
Too late.
too late.
And Karen says, you bloody forgot. At Tesco delivery, then started cleaning. So she's in.
Carol.
Karen.
Oh, Karen.
Yeah.
I thought she was being very quiet. I thought Mr. P must be playing her up. Oh, right. Right, so now, well, you missed everything going wrong, Karen. But I'm not saying we managed to get it back, but, you know, it's not looking too bad. So she needs her scarf on now. And Mr. Fix-It's come up with this bunting. I don't know how you get into it, so I'm just going to cut it. Which looks to me like a ready-made scarf. So let's have a look. Yeah, if I put that on there, I'm going to have to paint some more of her in. What does that look like? Bit much, do you think? I think I might just use this ribbon. Cut the heart off it. I don't know. I think I need to colour that in anyway, irrespective. Oh, or I could give her a choker. Let's have a look at them, please. This one here, the ordinary polyester one. However you get into it, I don't know. This polyester one here, if I was to put that there and then fold it up and glue it on, that could be a little scarf. Yeah, that'll do. That's perfect. What's wrong with that? You have to be inventive. I'm being inventive. So I need to get this kind of the right length, which is about there. What you have to?
Sparkly circles.
Where are they? There. Yes. We could put that there and put these on it. Is that what you mean, Mr. Fox? Yes. Well, I'm still liking the idea of going with this. I'll just show you what I mean because it's not sort of obvious. Going with that, folding it over and then folding it back on itself like that. So we've got a little scarf. I think that's what I'm going to do. I might still need to stick one of those red sparkles in it just to keep it all down. Lovely. Right. So what do I need to glue? I need to put a bit of glue in there. Yeah, when you want it to come out, it doesn't.
Karen says that Mr. P is fast asleep.
Oh, good. You'll get some peace. Right, so I've just sort of, it's not holding. Just sort of glued that together, and I'm sure it will hold in the fullness of time. And I'm going to stick one of those sparkly things over there. I'm just going to stick this down there first. Could you get me a sparkly thing, please, Mr. Fix-It? Medium. Why does this not want to stick? Why don't you want to stick?
Well, you need heat gun, probably.
Well, it certainly doesn't want to stick. Okay. Shall I put one at the bottom of there? I'll give that the benefit of the doubt and pretend it's going to stick. If it doesn't, I'll take remedial action, like the hot glue gun. Right, so now what I think we've really... throw it stuck to the table there. What we really got to do is chop her beret off. Hey?
What colour are we doing there?
The blue, same as a jumper. I think is the best. Right, so she's now hatless. And I just need to somehow draw around here. Or get around here. Yeah, you can if you want to. What are you after?
Sharpie.
Here's one. So. Well, I don't think she's doing that badly now, really, compared to how she was earlier in the day. She's gathered her senses. And she's going to go... Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Part of her isn't actually... That part of her isn't actually in, is it? She goes there. She looks all right. I don't think she's got the panache that the Indian lady had. But, you know, can't all be that jewelled up. So I was going to put my stencil, wasn't I, somewhere. So I'll do that now. I'll just put a little bit of white paint, which I haven't got out already. I thought I did. Oh, was I going to do? I was going to do it in black. That's why. Sorry. Yeah, please. Yeah, I decided to myself that I was going to do this in black. Actually, there we are, and I've just got my little. My little pencil, my little moon maker. Come on, where are you? Why are you doing this to me? Can anybody see it? Can you tell me where it is?
We get another one.
Oh, there it is. Excellent. So these ones I want at some sort of angle like that. So with all stenciling, load your thing up and then pounce it off until it's dry, pretty much. I find these little foam dabbers very good for stencils. Wow, that looks great. I'm going to put this one on quite close to it. There we are, that's brilliant. You can read that it says Paris, which is the main idea of putting it there, so we're all right with that. That can go in the water. Where's a beret here? Which way did it go? I can't remember. Was it that way? Must have been that way. Or maybe it was that way. Yeah, it was that way. Right, so I need to stick her on. So, shall I stick her on with that or Prit? Prit. Mr. Fix-It saying Prit. She's a bit of a lumpy bumpy. She's got all this fabric and stuff on her. And there's one arm, this arm I think, that isn't going on the page. So she's going there. Oh, tilt around a bit. There. And that arm's going to get chopped off level with the page. I think a little bow tie thing, cravat, whatever you want to call it, scarf, has stuck, hopefully. So that's that. And I'll stick this on with this glue. It seemed to stick the other bits of fabric. Let me just check, double check that I've got it right. Yeah, let's go in there. Ooh, that is a lot of glue. Might as well spread it to the bits we need it. Right. Finally, we have a lady appearing out of the mist. Well, there you go. I don't think that's actually that bad, really. There's just the text to put on, but I don't think I'm going to put that on because my hands are just too sticky, too horrible. I need to wash my hands, and then I need to colour these a little bit. No, just background. I need to put the background in. I could put the text up there. It might look quite nice. This says, a habit doesn't make a monk. So it's a bit like don't judge a book by its cover sort of thing. That kind of thing. So that, ladies, well, I'm going to put that street lamp in there because I want it to match that one. Apart from that, bit of background in up there and down here possibly, and that, I think, is that. When she's dried, I might have another look at her skin colour. I mean, she's properly drying now, but I'll wait for the glue to dry and whatever, and I might just have another little look at the skin tones and see what I can find that's suitable, because I can't believe that I don't have any more skin tones than that. Is silly. So I shall see you on Friday, when I hopefully won't keep you for an hour and 40 minutes. I'm really sorry about that. If in the meantime you want to see me preparing the background of the page, let me know and I'll do that for you probably tomorrow. So it'll be all ready for Friday. I can't thank you enough for sticking with me through some rocky roads to Paris today. But we've got there. She's got beret on. She's looking pretty cool. She's looking pretty French, which is actually what we're after. And I'll see you on Friday. Thanks very, very much, my crew. You're a good crew. Bye.